Here we are again at the holiest of holies, that is St. James's Whiskey Cathedral. We've got a very cool episode today. We're going to blind taste 6 different Glenmorangie bottles, Glenmorangie bottles, to just kind of go through their line and see what they're all about. They have so many different brands, Glenmorangie does. You may only be familiar with this one, their 10-year, but frankly, that's the bottom of the barrel for what is an otherwise really colorful and diverse Scotch whiskey brand. So I'll be joined by St. James today. We're going to taste these, and then afterwards we'll talk about it, rank it, and just kind of see which one of these is the best, which one of these is the worst. Maybe there'll be some surprises in between. We'll see.
All right.
Alright, so let the tasting begin. Cheers, by the way. Thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, huge range in nose. Massive differences.
That's refreshing.
Wow.
Too, as if they all were kind of similar. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
They're so different. And I
That's
always
good.
thought Glenmorangie has this sort of similarity, but these are vastly different noses.
Oh. Sometimes you smell it and it's just good God. There's something about scotches that the aroma and taste of a lot of them have so much, like they go so deep.
Yeah.
It's not just the surface of like, this smells like blackberry or whatever.
They're very,
There's like
very
a-
complex. They're good scotches.
Yeah, spiritual.
So complex, yeah.
It's like it's got its own fucking spirit. I swear, if I lived here for one night, I'd be dead the next day, man. Alcohol poisoning the same day. You show great restraint.
But I don't feel bad drinking this stuff, you know? I feel better drinking this than I do when I drink beer.
Oh, no
Always.
doubt about that.
Always.
Beer is, yeah, no doubt. At least into adulthood. When I was younger, I could drink beer on beer on beer, but now,
Yeah,
like,
no.
stomach gets all fucked up. Another thing I'll say about Glenmorangie is, of all the different brands, their branding
Oh,
is
branding's
so
amazing.
fucking good.
Well, they're LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy owns them, and they've done, and they own Ardbeg, and they've done amazing things.
They own Ardbeg?
They own Ardbeg.
Wow.
They own Chateau Yquem, and their branding is it's kind of scary, you know.
Like, that's just so fucking, come on.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
And I really like the Allta. The Allta is like eggshell. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that is a
Gorgeous.
really different whiskey. You know, the story behind Allta is that they went out and found this wild yeast growing on the barley in the fields they were using, and took that back and cultivated, and it's a new strain of yeast for them. And of course, yeast would dramatically affect the taste. So that's the story.
Interesting.
Again, it's a LVMH story, but I know when I first tasted it, I really felt there was a difference. And I'm going to see if I can identify it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I remember having this last time too, and it was one of my favorite whiskeys of the night, if not my
just
favorite.
because it is such a different approach to it. Yeah.
And then, you know, another thing I was thinking about is the first sip of the first one I tasted, which is the first alcohol I've had all day. Like, how that impacted it, you know? What if I tasted whiskey 6 first, and that was my first sip, you know? How does that influence?
But they're tasting, I'm getting completely different things now. Now that I've let them sit, I'm getting completely different tastes. That's remarkable to me.
So what's changing more? Is the whiskey changing, or is our palate changing?
Well,
Or like, you know, what's the pool? I know both are happening,
both
but
are
what is it? It's surely
I
it's
think-
not 50-50, you know?
No, I think the temperature's changed. We pick them up, put them down, we're warming them a
A
little
little
bit.
warmer.
Yeah, and as I said, the more volatile components are coming off, and you're left with
Like the core of the apple, all the top stuff.
Alright. Wow, it's so hard to tell on this. I'm gonna. I'm finding it very hard to decide which I prefer.
Yeah, I prefer some for different reasons. Yeah, there's a couple that there's a couple that just for me just didn't do. None of them have been bad, but yeah, there's a couple where I was just like, man, this is a different league, than some of the other guys.
I'm very, very influenced by the nose. The nose is almost grabbing me more than the taste.
Yeah, but what's great is when the palate and the nose are both fantastic. Sometimes one is lacking, and often it's the palate. It's rare that you smell something bad, the palate is just banging, right?
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't work that way. All right, I'm scored up, man. How much longer do you think you got? A few more rounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn it off for now.
What was my number 6?
Your number 6?
My number 6.
The Quinta.
La Quinta.
Which, by the way, some friends are going to be coming in soon, so if you hear noise in the background, just be okay with it.
So, and I put it down as very sherried, very sulfur, so I did guess this one was the La Quinta, which is a sherry finish, right? I believe.
No, it's a port, right?
Oh, port. Okay. I found it. The wood was a little too distracting for me. It was overpowering. The balance just wasn't that good. So that was my.
All right. So what was Quinta for me? What was the Quinta for me?
Oh well, are you going to say what your 6 was? Are we going to do it that way? Which way around do you want to do this?
Let's just do it the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
I'll follow yours.
Okay. All right. La Quinta was your number 1.
Wow. So I had it like the opposite.
You loved it.
I loved it.
Oh, no, when did it come out? No, it came out at 6th on your list.
Huh?
What's the bottom one on your list? Oh no, sorry, that's my list. Sorry.
Yeah. So if that was my number 1, then Quinta was my number 1.
Quinta was your number 1. Number 1.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah.
Because it's so fruity. I liked all the fruit, and it was rich.
Yes.
It was rich.
Very rich, which is the port taste. I thought it was too much, and that's just a personal preference, I guess.
What was your score on it?
I gave it a 7.2.
7.2? Alright. So I gave it 9.5.
You gave it 9.5. Okay, alright. In 5th place for me was my number 3. What was that?
Number 3 was the original.
Ah, okay. And I had down for 3 fruit, strawberries, smooth. I actually thought that I thought that was the original. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
And that was your best score?
No. That's my 5th.
Oh,
that's my
your 5th. Oh, okay.
Smooth. I just had comfortable, pleasant.
Yeah.
Which is what you would expect for the flagship, more affordable one of the line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I gave that a 7.5. Okay, so yours, the original, was number 6. Where did that come on yours? That came last on yours.
That actually had the almost second highest score for me.
Oh.
I've said it was a treat, perfectly enjoyable, integrated, no rough edges, summery. So like the season. There's something about it that was just kind of had a...
That's the strawberries, that's right.
Yeah, a light seasonal feel.
Absolutely. What
That's
score
great.
did you give it?
8.4.
Okay. All right.
And what did you say yours was?
I gave it 7.5.
7.5. Oh, that's surprising. All right.
4th, I had my number 5. What was that?
Your number 5 was a Signet.
Ah, so that's the so-called expensive one. In terms of that's a blend, right? Signet is a blend of some of their older, rarer casks. That's what they say. My notes on it for number 5. I actually got a little sea breeze, sort of salty slightly. Little heat, little bit of sulfur on the finish. Found it fairly hot. I guessed it was the Alta simply on the heat taste, but I was wrong.
Interesting.
And
what was your score on that?
My score on that was a 7.4. And the Signet for you was number 3.
Fantastic nose, sweet and fragrant palate. It was flabby on the palate though, a bit loose. So I interpret it as not having structure and dissolving a little quickly.
Right.
So there wasn't the length of finish that I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
And that was 7.5.
7.5 for you. Okay.
What'd you say, 7.4?
I had 7.4. Yeah, so that was number 5.
Alright.
Okay, in third place, I put my number 1.
Your number 1 was Milsean.
Milsean, so that is the wine cask finished, right? And I got a very long finish on that. I got a little bit of butterscotch and biscuit on the taste, a lot of caramel on the nose, and I gave that a 7.5. And I should have said my 5th place was a 7.3.
Signet?
Yeah, no, the Signet was 7.4, and the original was a 7.3. I said 7.5 and I was wrong.
Okay.
7.2, 7.3, 7.4, 7.5. So the third place for me was my number 1, which you said was a Milsean, and the Milsean for you was number 2. What did you give that?
This is the one that I was saying. I thought there was something there going on, but it wasn't fully. This is the one that I changed my score on.
Right.
So like when I first smelled it, it was kind of something was there, but I couldn't fully detect it. And then I came back to it later, and it opened up.
Yeah, and to me, it opened up with more sulfur at the end. Actually, that's what I thought. Yeah. So what score did you give that?
I gave that a 7 out of 10.
7.0. All right. Okay.
Yours was a 7.5.
7.5. Yeah. My second was a 7.6. You see, they're all pretty close. Yeah.
So your number 2 was Alta.
My number 2 was the Alta. Okay. So my notes on that: light toffee apple.
Just leave it open. Leave the door open.
Yeah, it should be. Come on in. Sorry.
We'll edit this out.
Hey, can we come in? We're just finishing our recording. No.
Y'all are completely good. It's
We're
all
almost done. We're almost done.
What's up, bro? How are you? Good, man.
Yeah,
we're at the discussion part of it.
Yeah.
Listen from afar.
We're almost done. So I had the Alta. I had light toffee apple on the nose, little tannin on the taste, actually, a little bit harsh, and the finish was a bit short for me, but I still liked it more than the others, so you got a 7.6 for me. What did you have for? So for yours, for the Alta, was number 4.
This was my second highest score.
My second highest score too. So
lots of caramelized honey, soft but structured, and I put superb.
Yeah.
So like it had some of that honey, that like kind of like cooked honey, rich character, but the body of it and like the overall balance was just very, like it stayed with you.
Right.
The finish was for me very, like it was good. It worked really well.
Yeah. All right, and my number 1 then was number 4 for me.
Ealanta.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so I should explain. This is one I found in London at a way higher price than I wanted to pay, and the next time I went back to London, bought it anyway. And I since went and bought almost a case, 5 bottles of it. It's a rather expensive one. It's I think it's 18 or 19 years, aged in American white oak.
Oh yeah, this is the. This is what he's talking about.
Yes, it's quite an expensive bottle. Good luck finding one right now. I'm pleased that on a blind tasting I put that one first, because that really is, to me, an exceptional whiskey. It's Jim Murray's, one of Jim Murray's top ones. It was his whiskey of the year one year. He could put it at 96.5 points, which is the highest he's ever given anything, I think. So that is my number 4. What did I write down about? Butterscotch, sweet, a little bit of anise, a little bit of pepper, a long finish. So I gave that one 99.2 on my score. Dramatic. All my others are fairly close. They're in a range of 7.2, 7.6, and I gave this a 9.2. So
this is my number 5.
Oh, you put that 5th. Oh,
no.
Sorry,
That's
number. The ranks was number 5. Yeah. What did you give it?
Take a guess.
First?
No.
Last.
Last.
We just got different tastes.
So this is so. But I think it's great though, as to how different.
It's
because I think we would agree that none of these were bad.
No,
they're far from.
magnificent.
They're all
whiskies.
good.
Yeah.
But I think what we're seeing play out is preference.
Absolutely.
So like I love barrel and custard, and the Quinta Ruban gave me the most of that.
It's got
rich barrel custard.
Barrel, more fruit, more of that.
Or that like lush, sweet,
maybe.
round, like vanilla character.
So what score did you give the Ealanta?
6 out of 10. And yours was a 9.2.
Yeah.
Or 9.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Read all that off real quick. So we have a final.
Yeah. So obviously our scoring systems might be different, but if we combine our scores, then first place goes to the La Quinta, which is the port cask finish. Second place goes to the Alta, which is the very different new yeast strain. Third place is actually the 10-year-old original, the base whiskey. Fourth place goes to the Ealanta. We had very differing views on it, but that's where it ended up. Fifth was the Signet, which is in theory they're most expensive. At list price is more expensive. The Ealanta is more expensive because it's only available secondary anymore. And then last place was the Milsean. That's on scoring. You can buy our scores.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that they're 10-year, which by the way, if you buy this in Alabama, you can buy a 1.75 litre of it for $67. That's awfully cheap for a delicious whiskey. But it's been fascinating.
Yeah. That's really cool. Really I mean, both of these, that's affordable too, right? That's like 50 AUC, something like that?
I think so. Yeah, 50, 55 maybe.
God, I kind of wish we had more people in here to taste, because this is what surprises me the most, for sure. That I didn't like it. Well, I mean, not that I didn't like it, but that of them,
you ranked
it the lower. Yeah, so I'm curious. I would like to see others. Obviously, we look for different things for what gives us personal pleasure within this. Within this particular setting, at least, because these are Highland Scotch, right? So if we went over to Speyside, maybe it looks a little bit different, or if we went to Islay, of course, it looked very different.
Right.
So yeah, I'd be curious to.
That is the joy of whiskey, though. They're just so. There's so much variation. There's so much to discover in it. Yeah. And it would be interesting to come and do this again in a year's time and see if, having tasted a wider range, you can still feel, because your palate gets educated.
Yeah, it changes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Terrific.
All right, well, thank you for watching. Thank you, James.
Sure.
That was so fucking cool. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
All right.